Morning, buongiorno, and goedemorgen, depending on wherever you tune in from. Welcome to this day's webinar, The Secret HR Adoption Strategies. We're going to talk a little bit about digital adoption in a second, but first, my name is Jeroen, and I'll be your host today, making sure we answer as much of your questions at the end, and we start on time like we do right now. I am joined today by Philippe, Alex, and Hasina, and we'll introduce all of them in a second. But first, thank you for tuning in. We'll do a Q&A at the end. If you do have a question during this webinar, you can raise your hand, and we'll come to as many of you towards the end of this webinar. Philippe, you are the Chief Revenue Officer for myMeta. Could you quickly introduce yourself to the people tuning in today?
Yeah, sure. So I joined myMeta to develop the business in Europe. So as the digital adoption market is really growing business in the EMEA, I'm really leading other sales and partnerships in the region. So I'm really pleased to be there with you today.
Thank you very much. We have a real life customer, Hasina, who has a special part in the presentation at the end. So we'll introduce her in a second. My colleague Alex, could you quickly introduce yourself to the people that have not met you before?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm managing HR consultant at Consultday, and we are a consultancy company that help customers optimize their processes via HR tech. I'm a year within the company, but a long history in HR tech, so to say.
Absolutely. And a quick question from the tech side, Alex, could you share your screen on full slide so we make sure that we see all lovely pictures while we're at it? Thank you very much. Alex, we are here as a result of the myMeta Consultday partnership. Could you explain to the people at home what this partnership is about and how we started this as a joint effort?
Joren, sorry, I think we missed the Hasina introduction as well.
I would love to do that right now. Hasina?
No, it's okay. Alex can answer. It's fine. For me, it was after. Up to you, guys. But I can go and then question for Alex. Everyone is it? So I'm Hasina Zenadi, so Group HRS Manager at Bell. I think a cheese and squeeze company for the one who doesn't know it. Maybe the Lautinco, you will know that. So I'm the HRS Manager for Bell since 4 years. And we started to work with myMeta for 2 years now almost.
Thank you. And we'd love to hear your experiences in just a second. Thank you, Hasina. Alex, could you go back to the partnership for us and how we ended up today in this webinar?
Yeah, sure. I would say need or challenge that we see with a lot of organizations. Because it goes without saying that HR technology plays a really important part nowadays in optimizing HR processes. And we guide customers through this digital transformation. However, what we do see is that despite that we have strong change management and user adoption as part of our project, and they are quite persistent, to be honest. So what we do encounter is that when we have an evaluation of the project with our customers, they all say, well, technically speaking, everything went well. The migration went well, the systems are live, people are using the system, but however, we do still get a lot of support questions, and it can be either from managers or from employees or from business partners. And at the end of the day, a lot of our customers see that they still have to spend a lot of time and effort into this support. So for us, that was a reason to say, okay, maybe we have to look deeper into this issue, and maybe we need kind of.
Alex, speaking of systems, I know you've made lovely slides. We currently see the welcome slide. Could you share the screen instead of just the window? Because I know you've put some effort in making these slides and a lovely story. So it would be great if we, yes. Thank you.
Yes, but I have it on full mode.
Yeah, but now we see the second slide. So please continue with your.
Oh, maybe something is wrong with the connection then. Yeah, so again, what I said is that we really need to look into these challenges and to see, okay, can we create a new approach when it comes to user adoption and change management? So just to be sure, can you now see the next slide?
We see your second of 4 slides at this point. The crucial role of user adoption in digital transformation. Overcoming the hurdles to user adoption.
Apparently something does not go right with the presentation. Sorry for that. So when we deep dived into I would say the hurdles that we see within user adoption, we saw a few things, and I think maybe the most important one is that users nowadays need or expect another type of help, and that's not really surprising because since COVID, of course, a lot of people work from home or remote, so they really are dependent on quick online help. And what users definitely not want to do is to go to some kind of HR portal and then look through the search for knowledge articles or demo movies or quick reference cards. What they really need is immediate support within the app. Saying that, if you look at the systems that are available in the market nowadays, I would not say that systems are user unfriendly. We've come a long way in the market in that sense, but we still see that not all of the systems are just as intuitive, and a lot of HR systems still not have really interactive support within the software itself. And some of the bigger companies, of course, or providers are working on that, but it is still very limited. And what also makes it very complex is that within HR, we use a lot of systems. And so, for example, if I'm an employee and I need to submit my expense claim, I need to go to an expense management system. But when I want to have my working from home allowance or a local travel allowance, then I often need to go to a benefit system. Or when I write time, I need to go to time writing systems. But when I want to claim my over hours, or my extra hours, then I need to go to another module. And the list goes on and on. So what we do see is that there are a lot of overarching HR processes supported by different cross-platform systems, but there is not really a kind of overarching user guidance, so to say. So looking at these challenges, of course, we said, okay, but how can we solve this? And we were already aware of the existence of user adoption platforms. But until now, we did not see really, I would say, impressive use of user adoption tooling within the field of HR. So that's why we were so happy to meet myMeta a year ago at Unleash, because not only has myMeta a very profound user adoption platform, they also already have proven solutions. So, for example, customized data fields or improved workflows and guided support. Live use cases with customers on platforms like SuccessFactors, Oracle, Workday, or ServiceNow. And what we will also bring to the table in this partnership is that we can unlock new markets, because we also want to adopt or integrate local solutions from the Benelux, like AVAS and Visma and SD Works into the system, because we encounter more or less the same challenges on user adoption as we have with the other platforms. So in that sense, then we can really bring a broad portfolio of solutions where we can support the user adoption. So we can ensure that the technology is not only implemented, but also adopted and used by the end users, and also helping our customers and organizations to really improve their efficiency, bringing support costs down, especially on the service desk or the help desk, and enhance and improve the employee experience, so the user experience for the employee. So in that sense, a seamless approach, as we say, to HR efficiency. And that's why we're really happy with the partnership with myMeta.
So I have a question on that. Since you've ended with the partnership, what
Yeah.
can customers expect from this collaboration, from this joint effort of both myMeta and Console Day?
Yeah, good question. Well, because we will do more than just reselling the platform. So what we will do is help customers with getting the requirements. So we have business consultants already that can help with that. We have certified and trained consultants now within consultants that know how to configure myMeta. And of course, myMeta will support by delivering the software, do the technical support, and also provide knowledge. And so we can, in that sense, provide a one-stop shop for our customers in digital adoption.
Wonderful, thank you. I like to go to the second part of this partnership. Philippe, could you lay some foundations for all of us and quickly explain what actually digital adoption strategies are?
Sure. So first, thank you all to attend this event. So I will do two things. So just to let you know what's going to be next. So it's going to be a quick intro on what is digital adoption, just 1 or 2 minutes. And then I will leave the floor to Asina from Bell to explain real experiences on the collaboration with myMeta and how digital adoption can help. But just as a quick intro, first thing is the market and the analysts really strongly believe that digital adoption is going to be the main topics on every type of organization. The main things, to be honest, is they are kind of insufficient application user experience. So as Alex said, in organizations, there are a lot of different tools. So I heard that for a large organization, in average, an employee use around 27 different type of solutions. So that's pretty tough to really learn and understand how everything is working. So that's why there are kind of boom of digital adoption to help user to better understand and be more efficient on the tool. If you are looking at other analysts also, they're saying that the kind of old way to train to help the user is mainly behind us. So having a user guide, classroom training, videos, and so on is being behind, because now people want to be trained directly on the solution when they need it. And that's a really big shift. And in addition to that, there are, let's say, 3 main accelerators. So the first is also what Alex mentioned is their kind of boom, maybe because of COVID or thanks to COVID, I don't know who can define it. People are working more and more from home. And when you are from home, you are a bit on your own. So it's more difficult to ask how you can do your annual performance forms, even if you are using it only 1 or twice per year, how you can do your expense, how you can do a lot of things. The second is also a boom of the number of applications that are in the hand of the user. As I mentioned, in average for large organization, it's more than 27. And the last thing is, as of today, our, let's say, software vendors didn't really put all their energy on the user interface and the user experiences. So that's really where also we can help, because we can have this part to adjust the UI of any type of platform. So that's a big trend. And at the end, every dev platform wants to fix 4 main issues. The first thing is reducing the support of the cost, reducing the support cost. If your employee doesn't really know how the solution is working, they will ask a lot of questions, they will log tickets and so on. If they know how it works, if their processes it's more simple, it's going to reduce by 40% in average the number of tickets. So that means that HR or support can spend time on more interesting and relevant things. The second thing is improving the data quality. because with that platform and with myMeta in particular, we can do control. We can make sure that the size or number of character of the IBAN is the right one. We can also pre-filter information. We can also pre-fill information just to make sure that the data are more and more accurate. And then everything is going to contribute also to increase productivity, because if I'm the user, an employee, I know how the solution is working, it's going to be better for me. I'm going to be more productive. And everything at the end will contribute to digital transformation, because the focus on employee experience is really critical topics. So that's my quick intro. After the Asina presentation from Bell, I will deep dive more to show you more example and more features that can really be super interesting for us. So I will leave the floor to Asina. So let's go.
Thank you, Philippe. Thank you, everyone. So yes, the idea now is to explain to you how is it as a customer. So having myMeta, you will see that we can use myMeta for a new tool. But what we did at Bell, and next slide, thank you. What we did at Bell, it's actually we are using the same tool, but we are revamping everything. So that means it's new processes in that tool, and we still need change for that, because like our employees and manager got the same tool, but we are changing everything in there, and we really needed to support them to do that. We chose myMeta. To tell you the truth, we did to start a proof of concept, like we say. So we tried the tool to make sure that it was answering to our needs. And then we selected myMeta, just that for you to know. Why we choose the myMeta? Actually, it's firstly really because it's a nice adoption tool, and he helped us guiding the managers and the employee directly when they are in the tool. No more guides, like said Philippe. And it's really nice because, I think when you are fixing, for example, objectives, you know that you need to fix a smart objective. You know it. But what is a smart objective for the employee and manager who is doing that one time a year? We put all those advices directly in the tool. So you got your step by step, but you also have some reminders from HR saying, yeah, here it's a smart objective. Remember, smart, specific, etc. So we do that directly in the tool. So it's a step by step for the tool, but it's also your advices as a HR to your employee and manager. What we like to, it's really the new UI, the design. So we do have some forms, and we could put some colors. It was nice to get different sections. So it was the section for career wishes. You got that. We really reviewed everything directly in the tool, and it was thanks to myMeta. So we had nice feedback like, oh, the form was nice this year. We were very happy because it was nice, but it was also more easy to use and to answer in each section. And the last point, as we have myMeta who can really improve some features in the tool, we can really exceed some limits. So we used myMeta to do some calculation directly in the tool, and also to push some information from a module to another. So here it was from performance module to compensation. So we had the chance to communicate in between those two modules thanks to myMeta. So really for us, it was those three things, like, yes, the step-by-step, and it's already a first nice thing, but also the redesign and some features and improvement directly in the tool. Here it was the step-by-step. I do not know if the video will, no. Can you launch the video or maybe not? Yeah. So here it was our step-by-step directly. So you got here it's myMeta in our platform. So really guiding you. And as you can see, we really put the same colors that we have. So it was the same green that we have in our platform. So really for the employees and manager, it's really, for the ones who recognize, it's really success factors. they do not know that it's myMeta, and we call it Smiley if you because our platform is Smile. So as Smiley is here, we can click on it and he can guide us directly. So that was really a quick step by step, but it was to show you. Here it's our colors in the form. So and you can see career and language skills. Where it's not like this at all in success factors. It's really two sections, so it helped them, and you can see at the left that it wasn't exactly the same design. So that was small result. And to explain to you how we are working with myMeta and what we appreciate, it's really first we got one SPOC, single point of contact, who is Omar. So for anything, I love dev guys, but really sometimes to talk directly to them it could be difficult. So really Omar is here. And we are explaining him. We are doing some specification, but really functional specification. And then he is working directly with myMeta. I think maybe Alex, it's some stuff you can do as a partner. We can have you, and then you are discussing with myMeta. So that point is really, really nice because we need to discuss functional and not technical. So we leave that to you guys, like to explain to myMeta what we need. It was quick, and for the proof of concept. So we started really end of June. We asked them to accelerate during the summer, and they did it. And we were live with our individual growth plan in September. And you can see it was really quick, and we really had all what we needed to start. So it was, some pressure at the end. But we feel like we were supported by myMeta, and when we had the deadline, even if it was hard for them, for us, it was one team working to deliver on time, and we really appreciated that. And then we continue with because we wanted really to test different modules to see if it was okay, with the design, with the step by step, and also with the new feature. So we did all of them by the end of the year. So Jan 4th, beginning of the year, we had all the 3 things I showed you just before. So you can see it was because we wanted in 6 months to see everything, and we did. And then it's why we started with myMeta, and now for all our process during the year, we are redesigning form, or we are adding some features or some step by step. Where the step by step, it's what we are using the most. Because it's helping us for any new features to onboard and really engage our employee manager in the different processes we are launching. And we are continuing because next year it will be recruitment. So Philippe got some step by step and other things to help us. What I can tell you, we did validate, of course, myMeta. I told you that already. But really long-term collaboration will be made as all our employees and manager, now my Smiley, so myMeta. Philippe got to talk with marketing and sales and it's nice because I saw Smiley in Success Factors. I know what is it, and now they can also use it for other functions. Maybe you can continue, Philippe.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Sina. That's a good point because, as Sina said, we are now also expanding to other solutions. So not only success factors. Now we are starting for another tool from the Dassault system, and there are other initiatives. So at the end, as Sina said, if HR is super visible in the organization, people that are using other tools can see interest and see really how we can help them on other system as well. So thank you very much, Sina, for this. So that's a good feedback on the collaboration with myMeta.
So before we move on to the next part, Philippe, I have a question for Asina, which is you've used this software for a while, and you spoke about smart, and you spoke about the time frame, and you spoke about how it integrates. What is your one piece of advice for people that are tuning in at this point? Something to think of. What would you? What is your number one tip?
So what kind of issue I can fix since that? Sorry, with
Yeah. So if you're thinking of using this platform for your own organization, you've worked for it, you've as a proof of concept, you've been through the beginning until now. What is something to think of when you consider this? Or what is something to take with you?
Really, for me, first, as it's the change and the adoption, it's to think about it at the beginning of your project. You are not putting, that tool at the end when you already developed all the process, and that's what we did. So for me, it's really a big part of your project, and you need to think, yes, I will deploy that new process, but with my adoption tool. So you better know at what time you will use it. So the big error we do, it's thinking change almost at the end of the project. And really, for me, if you really would like to get that as a success, you need to integrate it at the beginning and to think how it can help you, even in the different step, and having that directly in your test platform, and not just thinking that once you're in production. So for me, it will be the big advice on my side.
I think it's a wonderful piece of advice, especially from your own experiences. Thank you for your part in this and answering my question. I'm sure it's a question more people have. And Philippe, could you take us back to the platform and what makes the myMeta one unique?
Yeah, sure. So thank you again, Asina. So next step is going to be explaining a bit more what is myMeta and how we can really do things that improve the employee experiences. So there are three main topics that we are really covering. The first is, as Asina showed you already, is we can do step by step. So we are guiding the user through the process, and mainly if the process is complex, or if your employee are not using everyday solution, they need to learn how it works. The second is, and it's really unique in the market, we can also tailor the UI. So if the user interface is pretty bad, pretty ugly, we can modify it. And I will explain you how it works and what we can do. And the third is we can also as Asina said, we can improve features. We can add feature and make things simple. So I will try to explain all that stuff in the following minutes. Important thing is we have many customers. So we have, as of today, pretty more than 200 customers, mainly all over Europe. So you can see a lot in Italy, in Switzerland, in France. So organizations like Ferrero, Luxottica, Unilever. In France, we are working with Veolia, with many different brands like Bella as well. Important thing as well is we are covering mainly HR, but not only. So today, HR is our strong expertise. We may have probably 70% of our customers on the HR space. So including mainly Oracle, SuccessFactors, Workday, and all the main, let's say, HR platform. But our solution can work also on homegrown development. So as long as the application can be called in a browser, you can use myMeta. So that's really interesting because we have also a lot of customers that develop things, but they can also use myMeta to make it better. In a nutshell, our solution are doing, as I said, a couple of things. So the first is we're guiding user and we can do workflow automation. Second, we can do UI, tailor UI. And then there are also really important thing is more and more our customers are requesting for AI. So AI is really wide topic, but I will show you, let's say, concrete example of how AI can help and how we are using it. So the first thing is I will skip it because I think step by step everybody can understand it. So we guide the user, we create a user guide based on your profile, and then you go through the application to make it simple. Our solution is also working on mobile, so we can have both environments. So we are fully responsive. The second is, I think, super important because that's super unique in the market. So what we can do mainly is on every web pages, we can hide fields. we can pre-filter, we can also pre-field information. As Sina said, we can manipulate the data to do calculation. We can bring information into the same place to make the life of your employee better. We can do API call. There are a lot of things we can do to adjust and make the user experience much better. I will give you one example. Veolia, I think people used to know this organization. It's around 65,000 employees in 24 countries using 12 different languages. And their appraisal form look like this. And they come to us and say, now we have a lot of complaints. People are not really using the performance, or it's really painful because there are a lot of support requests, because it's really hard to use it, and it's not user-friendly for 1 minute. So what we did is this. So just get in mind this, and what is now Veolia performance form. This look like this. So we totally change the way that we can display the information, that the employee can create their objective, adding stars, adding color, regrouping fields to make it more simple. And the result of that was huge for Veolia, because they have a huge level of acceptance for the employee. They say, okay, now it's super useful. We can do things more faster. They are reducing, but more than 40% the number of support tickets. And we create two things. One, it is for manager, and one for non-manager. And the forms are really super used by the employee, and the level of satisfaction is really big. So one other example is for also a big organization called CMS CGM. It's a bit more than 100,000 employees. And where here we have modified a bit things. So we had this part where on the left side, we can also do your objective, you can create things. But as Asina said as well, we create tooltips. So rather than doing only step by step, we said, okay, now you are going to create a goal. So just get in mind that your goal need to be between 2 and 5. Then the split need to be a weight of 100%. So at every stage, the employee is guided by the best practices. So it can be, okay, you have to create a SMART goals. What is the definition of the SMART goal? So there are a lot of things that CMS CGM is doing to make also the efficiency and the experience is really much better. Other thing is what we did is for one of our customers, we also modified totally the way that we are doing onboarding. So we can create additional things. So for example, within the application that I show you, there are no filtering per country. And with myMeta, we can create filter. So as soon as you have a new people joining, now you can see, okay, I just want only France, for example, and I can have a kind of dashboard looking at, okay, how I can, so first I can see all the tasks, I can see the overview task, but I can see also all the information that are required on the onboarding. So I can assign a buddy. I can request for a laptop. There are a lot of things that we can do. And the most important is we have created a total different user interface, but also a connection with their ticketing tool. So in this example, they are using also ServiceNow. So we create the link. So as soon as, for example, you ask here for a laptop or a cell phone, the link go directly to ServiceNow. ServiceNow is performing the stuff and get back the information to SuccessFactors. We can also directly on the system create appointment for the user. So there are a lot of things we can do with modifying the UI and modifying the experiences, but with also connecting different type of system. So in this example, we are connecting either SuccessFactors, ServiceNow, but also UKG for everything related to documents. So for example, if they want to retrieve the contract or sign the contract, we create also the link with this type of information. And the last example that I want to show you is this one, because a lot of people are saying that what is AI and how we can help to facilitate things. So my example here is on the ticketing system. So let's assume you are on any type of solution and you have a error message. So what the AI is doing is to find a way to fix it, saying, okay, maybe there a guide to show you. Maybe I can show you a PDF to explain what's going on. But if the AI is not able to help you, they will say, okay, now I think we make everything possible. So now let's go to create a ticket. So the solution going to provide you directly on the system. You never leave the page, and then you say, okay, is that system is on this page or something else? You say, okay, it's there. And then the system going to ask you, what is the level of criticality, and do you want to record your screen? I said, okay, I record my screen, and I can do also the voiceover. So I'm going to say, okay, every time I'm clicking on this button, I have this error message. So I'm going to show you. So now what the system is doing now is recording the page, and they're recording also the voiceover. So as soon as I finish to explain, I just have to say, okay, go send this information, and this information go directly to the ticketing system. That can be Jira, can be ServiceNow. And what the AI did as well is to translate everything I said verbally to writing. And then as a support guy, I can see what has been said, and also the screen copy, the video that have been recorded. And as an employee, I can see also where are the status of my ticket, and follow up all these kind of things. So that's super interesting things, because it's a combination of AI, a combination of how you can help your user directly on a page, not sending email to support, doing screen copy and whatever, and can be on every type of platform. So that's the last topics that I want to share with you. Of course, we have much more, but we are constrained by timing. So I will stop my presentation here.
Yeah, so you've shown us a lot, Philippe, and you've told a lot. And if I put on my Harry Potter hat, it almost feels like magic what you've shown us, the possibilities that there are. But how do you make sure that everything that this platform does not intrude into the general digital landscape that organizations have?
Yeah, no, the super important thing is usually first the IT like us, and I will explain why. Because we are working only at the browser level. So at no moment we collect data, or we are storing any type of data. So that means that for any question related to security, GDPR, and so on, we used to be compliant 100% every time. So we never also touch the code or the parameter of the tool. So for SuccessFactors, for example, or Oracle or whatever, we never go in the system to do coding or modify the parameter and so on. So that means that it's super easy. And as I said before, IT used to like us for that, because that's really straight.
Thank you. So one of the perks of hosting this webinar is that I get to ask questions first. And before we go on to the Q&A, Alex, we've heard from Philippe, we've heard from Hasina. Going back to our original start of this webinar, which was the partnership. What do you think of the stories you've heard, and how do you reflect on that?
Yeah, I'm getting more enthusiastic by the hour, to be honest, because one of our missions as consultants that we say we want to make IT, HR, IT simpler, and also creating a bridge between HR and IT. And I think with this platform, we really can do that for the end users. So in that sense, I think that this platform will really bring a lot of value to our customers. And we're also running some proof of concept now, and we already see good results by bringing For example, a hire process, we see that we can bring down the time that a manager has to spend on a hire with almost 50%. So there are really good use cases we can work on together with our customers. So again, very enthusiastic.
Good. I think, and I hope that that comes through the questions we have in a second. So if you do have a question, you can raise your hand. We will unmute you and you can ask your questions. Please emphasize if it's a general question or for one of these specific people. I see Lucio has a question, so if we can unmute Lucio, the floor is yours.
So, hi everyone, can you hear me?
Perfect.
So I have a question for myMeta. I want to know, how does myMeta affect the overall system structure of organization, and if it's done in a safe and compliant way?
Yeah, so I have almost already answered to the question. Yeah, as I said before, the most important for us is myMeta is not intrusive in any type of software. So as we are working on the browser level, it's super easy because we are really using the browser as a navigator of any type of data. So as I said, we are not collecting data, we are not storing data, and we can really provide super smooth experiences without any impact on the IT side. So that's really, I think, a big strength of our solution. And it's even true today with AI, because you know that many people are talking about AI and so on, but usually in organization, people want to control the AI system, because you cannot say, okay, I'm doing things, but I know that everybody in the world can see what I do or use my data or informations. So with myMeta, we can do that as well. So now we are really providing a chatbot that can be linked to the internal AI tool of our customers and provide a super smooth also user experiences. So one more time, I think it's super important for us and for our customers to make sure that we are not intrusive, that we want to keep having IT behind us and love us. And that's why we have this infrastructure that's going to be the same for any type of software, as long as I said, they are called through Navigator.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions that we could answer at this point? If someone would like to raise a hand, that would be fine. If not, it's a lot of information to process the very first time. I do see that we are at time, so we'll make sure you get the recording and the slide deck and get a chance to send your questions in via that way. One of the things that stands out is that it's important to be precise with myMeta and with any software you have. The same is with time. So with a few seconds to go, I want to thank Hasina, Philippe, and Alex for being here, sharing experiences and information. I want to thank all of you for being here and tuning in. We hope to see you next time, and please have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Asina. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.